Hey guys, welcome to Melanin United. On this video, as you can see in the title of my topic, let's talk about human rights violation. So let's talk about human rights violation, guys. You know, it's interesting the countries that always get accused of human rights violation. Yeah, we got China, some Asian countries, Russia and stuff, but like we do here, let's focus on us. How many times did they accuse Paul Kagame, president of Rwanda, for human rights violation? How many times do they accuse Yoweri Museveni, president of Uganda, of human rights violation? They accuse the Mali military of human rights violation. They accuse all these African leaders. They accuse Burundi of human rights violation. They accuse of Sudan of human rights violation. They accuse all these African leaders of human rights violation. And okay, but then we find out the facts are that's they just pay agents. They pay agents there in these countries to like cry and make fake propaganda videos and say this government is violating human rights, is doing this and that, because they have interest. We gotta realize they have interest in these countries, right? They're stealing and stuff. But my thing with the human rights violation whole thing is, why, if this so-called human rights violation groups are legitimate, then what's it called, America would have human rights violation every hour. They violate black human rights. They violate black human rights in America every hour. They violate black human rights in the UK every hour. They violate black Australian rights they violate black Australians' human rights every day, every hour. In South America, in Brazil, in Dominican, in all those islands in South America, and the islands by them, they violate black rights every hour. In Canada, where I'm from, where I live, I mean, they violate black rights every hour. They're peacekeepers, the UN missions, these Red Cross people, all these little organizations they sent to Africa and these black nations. These people violate black rights every hour. Like, so this human rights violation thing, like I told you, all these things that they name human rights organization, World Trade Organization, World Health Organization, all these things, they're under the European control because they're the ones that created these organizations and they funded. But they always pretend like it's a fair one. How is it fair when none of them are getting accused for human rights violation and they violate black rights every hour? So that's why this whole human rights organization thing, it's bullshit. You know what I mean? Whenever I hear them talking about an African country, an African president violating their people's human rights, that's when I know that president is doing something good, because they're saying violating human rights because they want an excuse to come in that country, you know, to destabilize and stop our growth. These people are the biggest violators of human rights on the planet. There's not one day, 1 hour that these people, like anywhere on the planet, have went without violating human rights, violating black human rights. So that's why I'm saying this human right propaganda machine always are targeting Africans, black people. Like, and even for example, remember what was it? The NAAC, and what's it called in the States? They accused the Republicans of violating those little Mexican children that was in the cages, coming from the border and stuff. Yeah, that is violation of human rights. But why don't they talk about the violation that's in Jacksonville when governments are supposed to keep the water clean? That's violating human rights right there. Why don't they talk about the violating of black human rights in Chicago? Like, come on, seriously? How on all of these holidays mass shootings happen? What? If it was so-called black people doing all this shooting in holidays, why would they need to wait for holidays? If someone makes you mad, you're gonna go do that, right? Like the people that do shit like that, right? So we know it's the Europeans, the white supremacists behind that. These cops and these white national groups, these white supremacist groups work together, and they love to kill black people on holidays in Chicago. The Philadelphia criminal justice system, that's human rights violation. The whole justice system, that's black human rights violation. So like I want to let you guys know this human rights violation crap that they use is only to what's it called, to trick and put propaganda on the media for, so you can be against that person that they tell you to be against. What happened when George Bush and Tony Blair said Iraq had weapons of mass destruction? See, all these human rights violations and lies that they do, they put upon the world. They No one in history violates more human rights than these people. So we need like don't trust none of their organizations. Whenever they say some new African leader or like Haitian leader or any leader like that are violating human rights, that's when you know they're actually doing something good for us. So I just want you to think about that. Alright, like, comment, share, subscribe.